Peace and love to all my brothers and sisters. How are you? This is Teacher Kaitesi. I hope all is well. I hope you're doing okay. So I have a message, and this is a good message. Yeah, it's a good realization for us. So recently I started looking back in my life, just looking back at the last couple of years and looking at things, looking at how slow things change, looking at how things change. And then I came of the realization that it's kind of like my years, the life keeps repeating itself. A little different, but like mostly on the overall, the same as the previous year. And so because I came to this realization, I asked Spirit, what exactly is going on? Why does it feel like I'm living in a loop, just going into the same thing over and over again? A little different here and there, but mostly the same results at the end of the year. And so Spirit showed me something. Remember when I told you that we have to get rid of certain people in our families, the ones that call themselves elders, the ones that call themselves the family heads. Remember when I told you that? And I told you that mine passed, that the one in our family passed. Now, because I came to that realization that these people were affecting me and us generally, this is why I came to get to this information. See what happened with these family elders. They have been putting us through loop years spiritually. Okay? Because they know that the sooner they get to another year, the sooner it will get to their end. Because they knew that whatever they were doing was not going to last. So instead of having you have a different year every year, they make you have the same year, they cast the same spells, so that you live the exact same year that you lived the year before. That way it allows them more time here. Okay, more time here. This is why I told you, if you're going to have an actual shift in your life that brings actual changes, you have to get rid of this person. This person has to spiritually not be in your life anymore. That is the only way you can bring about change. Because you see what has happened. These people used to make us live the same year. 2-3 years, the spiritual life of your life is spiritually the same for 2 to 3 years. Then they let it flip another year. That is different. Then again, they repeat that year. Then again, they repeat that year. So like every time other people move 3-4 years ahead in life, you have basically just been doing the same year over and over again. Okay? This is why you will find that you may have an addiction to alcohol, and then you decide and you get rid of it, and then instead the coming year you're addicted to painkillers. You still, it's like the same thing. You're still going through the same trouble spiritually. You find that this year you decide, I'm going to save money and do this and this. You start saving, things go well. Then somewhere along the way something happens, and all the other savings into that one thing. And it's usually rightful, because you look and you're like, I have to be the one to do it. I have to do this. Okay? So you end up using that saving for that issue. You get? So somehow we are unable to move from one stage to the next, because we are actually living the same life over and over again. Personally, for me, I noticed that how the year starts is like we kind of forget about the achievement, how far we had come last year. Like at the beginning of the year, Jan, Feb, you forget about it. You're in all these new things, all these things happening. It's like you're restarting afresh. You've already forgotten how much you had achieved the previous year. Now you're fighting with this new year and new ideas and new concepts and new this and that. Okay? And then somewhere along the way, around May, June, you now anchored in properly. You know what you're doing. Okay? And then July, August, you're now in your zone, your things are flowing. September, October, and then somewhere around this December, they switch it again, so that January you're back to starting again. And truthfully for me, the last couple of years, it seemed like every fresh year. Like truthfully, the last 3 years, every year, I start again. Literally start again. I even tried to change the situation, but because I didn't know that they were looping me into the same year, I even try and change the situations, try and change where I'm staying, because I'm trying to fight something, even when I was unaware that they were putting me through this cycle. But on a subconscious level, I knew I had to change something. So I would even change my location. Over the last 4 years, every year, at the beginning in January, I live in a different place. You imagine that? I live in a different place. I move. Because in my mind, I know that I'm living the same time. So I'm trying to change something, and it doesn't matter. You will get to that new place. You will meet the same kind of people. You will go through a different kind of troubles, but they bring the same spiritual results. Because we have been set up to just go through that loop over and over again. And this is why I told you, you must do that ritual. Look back at what I talked about a couple of weeks ago about removing that person in your family, the one that is running the spirituality of your family. That person has to move on. They have to move on for your things to move forward, for an actual switch to happen. You try and look at what we've done this year. Somewhere in August, we had the Lions Gate open, portal, so we had all this going. Now they are going to try and loop it again. And if you've noticed, this last month has been trouble for all of us. I don't know. You can't, for me, this is what I know. Spirit tells me whatever I'm experiencing, fellow Lions are experiencing. So I know the amount of trouble and confusion that I've been going through. Literally around me, it looked like it was total madness, that I had to keep just sane, just focus, because I knew. And this is because all this trouble was done so that somehow they loop you again into restarting this coming year. Right now they are carrying on all these animal sacrifices, all this. Don't think that people slaughter all these cows and all these things and give out meat and sell meat cheaply and invite you to come to their home just because they are nice to you. They are not. When someone is inviting you to their home to come and share with them, when their spirituality you're not sure about, you know that you're sharing in their sacrifice. Usually to be a sacrifice done for you, and for you think that they just invited you to their home to share, and yet it's all about you. So please, this Christmas season, be careful of where you're eating, who you're eating with. Be careful of who you're sitting with in the bar drinking with. Be careful of who you're hanging out with and sharing and breaking bread and cheers. We are drinking together. We are friends. Be careful, because they are trying to do it. Something is broken. But let's not let anything slip out. Okay? Let's not let anything slip out. Be very careful this holiday. If it needs that you step in your zone, meditate, use it time to purify yourself, because there's a lot of sacrifices going on. Don't think that all these animals which are slaughtered, they are spirits which are called to come and drink this blood. You understand? All these animals that are slaughtered, that's why they are slaughtered by the same people. You find that one village has somebody that carries on the sacrifice. I mean the slaughter. For the last 10 years, it's the same guy. When it's not that guy, it's his son. You get, every time someone has a cow or a goat to slaughter, they walk all the way, go and bring that one guy, invite him to come and do it. Why do they do that? Because they know that this person is the one that knows the spirits to call upon to come and drink that blood, so that they can continue to relive their life over and over again. These people don't have a lot of time. They don't have a lot of time. All their time is just them fooling us. So every time they change things in the spiritual, you end up in the same life without realizing it. And that's why they end up with an advantage, because they already lived the other year with you. They know what decisions you made. They know how far they took. Those decisions helped you. So when another year starts, they know exactly how to fight you, because they know how much you had achieved the previous year. Okay? So once you realize that this has happened, because I know it has happened. If it has happened for me, it has happened for many of you. So get your notebook, get your journal, write so far what you have achieved this year. Write where you are aiming for in this coming year. Have it there on your table. Have it there. Okay? Have it there, look at it in passing every day. Let it be there open on your shelf, on your table, on your bathroom sink, wherever it is that you know that you can see it. See it, let your mind see it, because every time you see it, it reminds your subconscious that, hey, we have achieved this, we are moving to this. We have achieved this, we are moving to this. Otherwise, they are trying again to make us restart. Okay, Spirit tells me that now it's almost near to impossible because we are more awake and we are more aware. And the reason why I'm telling you this is so that as you're meditating, you keep telling your spiritual guides that I've realized I'm in a loop, so I do not want to get into it again. Tell me whatever it is that I need to know, not to go back into it. Also, Spirit says that this remaining part of the year, it will do more good for us to listen to what is within us, the messages that are coming within you, more than listening to other spiritual guides on the different levels that you do. Whether it's going to church and you go there and you listen, whether it's a particular pastor, whether it's a particular channel on YouTube, whatever, let it be there. But the most important messages for us right now are the ones that Spirit is bringing directly into us, to us. Okay? Don't even look for interpretation on the net. Ask Spirit. If you dream something and it seems like this is the first, ask Spirit what it means. You ask and wait for your interpretation. Because you see, if they give you the dream, they will give you the interpretation. It's just that you don't trust yourself enough to wait or to believe. But when you believe and you wait, it is your dream. You will be getting your interpretation. Okay? Ask for your own guidance, your own, the one that's coming through you. Because you see what has happened is, you as a spiritual curse breaker of your family, there are certain specific rituals and practices that you're supposed to do, because you are the one that is going to break your family free. And someone on the internet, I may give you some information that may help, but it's not really going to be the one that breaks you free, because what I'm giving you is what was given to me, and that is for me as a curse breaker for my family. You understand? So you need your own information as a curse breaker for your family. Okay? And I told you, please get away from thinking these people are your enemies. They're just playing their part. They're just playing their part. Okay? So don't think so much about them. You're the big brother, the big sister. You're the one who knows what's going on. The rest of the people in your family are just playing children. And the reason why they kept repeating these things is because they want to play God. They are very happy to play God, to see that they can know what's going to happen before it happens, know what to expect, surprise people by giving them ideas and advice, because they know what you're doing. You see, when someone has made you loop a year and you're repeating yourself and everything is repeating itself, they feel that they can give you advice because they already know what's going to happen. They know how it's going to pan out. So when they give you advice, it sounds like they know what they're talking about. But that's because they rolled it the last year. Yeah, if someone has already switched and made you live the same year twice, that means they know what's going to happen. They know the decision you took. They know how it panned out. Okay? They know the bad decisions you took. So when they say it and then you do it and it goes up, you're like, this person is wise. They are not wise. They are controlling your spirituality. And this is why they have this information about you. Now you need to start taking your own spirituality. You know what? Do it as your own personal betting. You see, for me now, when I'm making a decision and it even feels like I am really not sure, and then I'm getting an idea and I don't know whether it's coming from the right place, I write it down, write 2-3 papers, the same thing, flip them over, switch them around, toss them up, and then pick one randomly. Because that way I know that it is me, my spirit, that is speaking it. And if you do that, then you follow yourself. You need to follow your advice, the one that's coming from within you. This is the one that will last with you. See, anytime you take advice from someone else, will you keep consulting them every time? Won't that become difficult? Okay? So, for me, I was supposed to still be sleeping this morning because my intention was to sleep until midday. So I'm still a bit even sleepy. But I came to give this information so that, so please put down whatever you have achieved this year, what you have considered as your achievement, how far you've come, write what your expectations are for this coming year, put them right where you can see them, so that you keep following it, so that you keep seeing it, so that your mind keeps knowing that we are not being looped back. Okay? Yeah. Focus. Let's stay focused, so that this coming year, when you change, it changes and goes up. It's not for them to come back and behave as if they know more than you about your life, because they are making you repeat yourself. So don't allow to go into another loop here. Okay? That's what Spirit told me to tell you. Do not allow to go into another loop here. Once you refuse it on a spiritual level, your spiritual guide have been fighting and have been with you on this. Once you also refuse it in here, then our year shall truly be a different year. Okay? Otherwise, for those of you who are celebrating Christmas, Merry Christmas and a prosperous 2025. Okay? So stay well.